Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video is about the tier list for 3.4.5 patch for the PvP content only. So before we start the tier list, let me go through what is the condition or what is the thing that I'm thinking about how good are them for their tier list in their slot, right? So first thing, this is a PvP only tier list and the resonance here is maximum up to R2. It's between R0 to R2. I won't go further up to R6. That one will be another video. And this perspective is totally just for purely end game at high end PvP. So in different tier and different point war level and like in your different percentage in beat bout and knockout, there will be differences in terms of like what team you are facing and what team is the meta at the tier, right? So every tier have their own perspective in different team meta, but in my case, this tier list will be fully at end game PvP, high end PvP meta. Okay, so I'll try to consider around like low tier as well, but mainly the consideration in my brain will be mostly at the high end of the PvP. Okay, then the main consideration will be beat bout and knockout, because these two are the main rewards we're gonna get from the PvP. Then the sub consideration will be point war. We get a decent amount of Nexus Crystal and supply voucher there, and the next one will be warm up match that comes like a few months, then you only have one round. Okay, so this is the 4 consideration I'm gonna have for this tier list. The future GVG, the guild versus guild, is not gonna be added in this tier list yet because we have not tested anything else and we have no idea how is it going to look like. It's just some prediction I have, right? So let's start. So now we're gonna have meta, strong, decent, RTA only, and bad. So RTA only, like meta is meta, strong is strong, decent is decent, but RTA only here is like this esper might not be good in beat bout or knockout, but in terms of RTA, which is warm up match, he will shine a lot. Then I'll put it RTA only, or else the rest I'll just put it at bad. Alright, so the first one is gonna be Hilda. Hilda, the maximum resonance we're gonna consider now is just gonna be R2, and the fact that Hilda actually slipped off in the PvP is because of Feng Shun, right? So in terms of Hilda, I would say Hilda is considered either strong or decent here, but before R6, and maybe I'll just put it as strong. Maybe Hilda will work when you put it at her as a speed team there, and you make her run fast enough to apply the sleep and debuff first before the enemy take action. She's actually strong, but the fact if enemy just take in a Feng Shun, then technically your Hilda got hard counter. Your Hilda can't sleep them, right? So, but still a very good debuffer to pair with someone like Tricky, all those stuff. So I would still say she is strong, just that no longer in meta tier. Then for Taver wise, Taver is actually good in low tier PvP, but in terms of high tier PvP, you won't really see Taver anymore. It's just because the main consideration is beat bout and knockout, and in auto mode, the Taver's AI will always target on the highest attack esper, the enemy esper that's highest attack, which is the red mark, right? So Taver won't be attacking like the defense mark or HP mark unless they are both together, but it's the fact that he always target on the red mark first, which means, so let's say if you pair someone with Mavis, then Taver will be totally useless because he always target on the one that only DPS only. So in terms of AI auto mode, it's actually decent. And yeah, then for Haley sadly to say, she's not able to bring much to the PvP meta here. Is just because that the fact that she's able to disable the enemy equipment is not really that good and reliable, because the silver debuff can be dispelled easily, and then the equipment disabled in current rival rune, the current beat bout and knockout isn't that really reliable as well. So I would say Haley is actually bad, and you won't see Haley in any beat bout and KO content. Maybe in the future you will see Haley with Wu Yu as a combo, but for now I don't think Haley is that good. Then for Jinchu, since we can consider him up to R2, so he's definitely the meta. You can see him everywhere, and the fact that he's dealing true damage, well, true damage is also a very strong counter to the current Shimmer, the breakdance Shimmer. as a counter, and he's the best pair of pairing, giving out the shield. Then for Fushi, I would say cause this Fushi here is just gonna be R2, but he's still able to be in shock. But if I have to consider that Fushi, okay, I'll say Fushi is RTA only, because Fushi in R0 to R2, he won't be able to use in beat bout and knockout is because he won't be able to call in Embla to apply the seed stack first, then he only use his S3 to proc the seed. But if he is R6, he can actually do that to call in Embla to apply the seed first, but this tier list here is only R0 to R2. Fushi here is not able to call in Embla, and the Embla speed is pretty slow, which means Fushi is not able to really fully utilize her damage. So, but in terms of RTA in warm-up match, Fushi is actually doing very strong. He can he can just S3 nuke the esper that you want to nuke, because you can mano your target, you can cast the S3 by yourself, and then just instantly nuke them. And in terms of point war, maybe you want to tune your Embla as so, right? Okay, maybe I'll say RTA or point war, right? So it's like RTA or point war, because point war you can speed tune your own stuff, then maybe it's gonna be good. Okay, then for Ahmed here, Ahmed I would say is gonna be decent. It's like he provides heal, yeah, which is good, but not really that good anymore. We have better healers now, so I would just say Ahmed is decent. Then for Suje, I would definitely say it's meta with what she's able to deal as her passive true damage, and the fact that if you go to R2, she's able to cast another S3 to the target, which makes her very annoying, right? But if she's able to go to R6, it's even annoying. But for now, even though R2 is gonna be meta in PvP already. Then for Shenpin, I would say it's meta because the fact that Shenpin with R0, he's already able to apply in most of the PvP content here. The buff that she provide able to help you nuke the team instantly. The fact that her rival runes is very fast enough to make her tank out Tolan's S3 as well. The fact that she provides so many stuff, so many buffs in the kit, she's definitely worth the meta in PvP as well. Then for Ethan, it's definitely going to be meta. The fact that you want to play speed team, you always see R2 Ethan there. The fact that you want as a passive DPS, Ethan is always be there as well, and Ethan can provide immunity, panic gaze for the CD up. He's just doing very strong. Intisa, I would say is bad because like Intisa is strong in a way when you can use your own equipment, but the fact that her own rival runes, and you won't be seeing a lot of Intisa in most of the content as well. I mean, in PvP content, you won't be really seeing Intisa in a lot of team. But some of the players who use Intisa, maybe it's gonna be R6 above, like R6 Intisa, then it should be good. But for now, I don't think R2 Intisa is gonna be strong in PvP. Not really worth the investment anyway. Then for Chuya, I would definitely say it's meta. The fact that he gives speed lead, universal speed lead, the fact that he applies the seer and debuff and calamity, because this PvP content is not PvE, the boss wood is not like bossing content, so everyone here will get calamity buff, and calamity debuff will actually make the enemy esper deal lesser damage and you deal higher damage to them as well. And his rival rune is actually the highest speed rival rune in the game, and he's only slower than Tolan. The fact that Tolan is faster than him is just because Tolan have the passive to increase the plus 30 speed. So he's just meta in PvP. Just meta. The fact if you have Chu Yao, if you really test him in PvP, you can really feel that the difference of the DPS you're getting from the enemy and the DPS that you deal to the enemy, you actually feel the difference after using Chu Yao. Then for Elaine, I'll just say bad here. Elaine won't really bring out anything in PvP, even though she is the counter to Anna. Okay, she is counter to the Anna, but we have better counter for Anna. And other than that, you won't really using Elaine in PvP content. Then for TA, I would say it's gonna either be meta or strong. But if I have to compare TA and Chu Yao as a speed leader, I'll put TA as strong. But in low tier, TA is definitely still one of the best PvP speed leader you're gonna have, because in terms of fighting speed, like in point war, if you build a TA fast enough, she can definitely just change the whole AP of the enemy team. But the fact that she also dispel, Chuya also dispel, right? If you want to compare with the dispel, Chuya is better. You want to compare about speed lead, they are the same, but in terms of strong stone, Chuya is better, but TA is able to AP swap, right? So it's really it really depends on what tier you are at in point war and the beat bout and knockout. I know TA is still mainly used, but I think Chuya definitely have the value to replace TA. Then for Mavis, definitely gonna be meta, especially Mavis and Jinchu is the couple esper. It's not like really couple esper, just that I always meme them together. It's like Mavis can protect everyone, but she cannot protect herself. But Jinchu cannot protect anyone, but Jinchu can protect Mavis. So Jinchu is like Mavis' daddy, keep protecting Mavis, and Mavis will be the little mummy to protect the rest of the esper. And the fact that you will be always seeing Jinchu Mavis team comp in the PvP meta, especially in low tier until high tier, definitely worth the meta. Then for Wu Yu, I would say it's meta as well, even though she's R0 wise, if you just get her one copy, and if you have the enough investment to the defenders in the game, she's definitely be very annoying to counter with. And even though we know that Jinchu is a true damage esper, is able to counter Wu Yu, but it's still very hard to counter, right? Because you can bring out like other defender esper and other healer esper. She's just gonna be very strong and annoying when she keep doing her breakdance to you. Iki is definitely worth the meta. Iki and Wu Yu is kinda the same in a different way. Wu Yu needs a lot of defender in a team to make her work. Iki needs a lot of support esper to make him survive, to make him work. So like Wu Yu is like, I need more defender so I can do breakdance. Iki is like, I need more support so I can survive to actually do something. So they are like the same, but they are both very high investment esper. High investment as in not just getting them will make you instantly good. You have to have their teammate to protect them or support them to make them work, right? So that's why they are strong, but it is high investment. It's not like a new player getting them will instantly become strong, because they need something to be work. Then for Lian, definitely the meta here, even though when your Lian is not R6, the fact that the moment you let your Lian take one turn of action, the moment she applies the shield, she's just gonna be protecting your team very, very well. Then for Gaius here, I will be saying he's decent now. Maybe in low tier he's still very good, but Gaius in higher tier won't be really doing a lot of damage anymore. But okay, if I think twice, Gaius is actually able to counter Anna in a way when he 1v1 Anna and straight away a thunder down. But he's not as strong as the rest here, right? Okay, I'll just remain him as decent. He's not like as strong as Hilda and TA in terms of the priority, so I would still put Gaius at a decent tier. Then for Donner, D2, we are talking at D2 wise, he's gonna be decent. Okay, D2 wise is gonna be decent. He will be a good pair with Wu Yu, but most of the case you want Donner to be R6 to be really strong in PvP, in beatbound and knockout as well. So he's just gonna be decent with the current PvP tier list with the resonance we're gonna limit with. Then Ife, right? Ife we're gonna put here first because she's just too cute. For Mitsuki, R2 wise is gonna be strong. It's not like until meta, but she really provides a lot of interesting stuff in her kit. She provides shield, healings, dispel, buff procer, and pursuit attack, and stun. Right? She provides a lot of things in her kit. Just that she needs a lot of different team or ideals and to make her work. Just herself won't make you like meta, but he's actually very annoying if you face a high result Fumitsuki. Then for Farah is definitely strong, or she can either go to meta, but in beat bout you won't be really using her a lot, but in knockout you'll be using her a lot, right? So I would say she's strong because she's able to dispel, she's able to freeze. And one more thing about the insight is like Jinchu, if she go to R6, he immune to sleep and stun, but he's not able to immune to freeze. So Farah still have her own special value in terms of knockout. Then for Archibald, definitely worth the meta is like pairing with Mavis as well, because Archibald here, when he pair with Mavis, he can help Mavis take damage. He can apply a lot of one swing debuff to force them, and he actually deals a lot of damage the moment you pair him with Mavis. Then for Tolan, the Speed King, definitely the meta, nothing else much to analyze about him. He's just meta. The fact you see Tolan in RTA, just ban Tolan, right? If you don't know how to outspeed him. If you see him in beat bout, it's either you tune your team in a specific team speed tune, or else you're not able to win Tolan. Camille, sadly to say, is my favorite girl, but she's just still bad in PvP. Phantom Sister, I would say, is bad in PvP, but some let me think. Phantom Sister is actually usable in knockout, but I don't really see her shadows in a lot of knockout team now, even though she's able to provide defense up buff, AP down, all those stuff. But with the low resonance, I don't think she's really that value in PvP. Then for Jin Yu Yao is actually a decent choice for you to have a healer and a dispeller as a passive character, right? But Jin Yu Yao, I think she's able to go until strong tier, because a lot of team, especially for the Iki's team and Mavis team, you're gonna pair Jin Yu Yao a lot. You're gonna be seeing her shadow a lot, so I would say she worth the value higher than the other character in the decent tier. Yun Chuan is a PvE meta, so but it's bad in PvP. Same for Leora, I would say it's gonna be bad in PvP. But in lower tier, Leora is actually able to nuke them instantly at the lower tier. But the fact you are going for the higher tier, Leora will slightly no longer in the PvP meta. Then Valeria, I would say is bad, because in terms of DPS, we have a lot more choices, but you will see some player use Valeria when she's higher reso, but only when she's higher reso. Other than that, you won't be really seeing Valeria a lot in the PvP content. Then for Nusi, definitely the meta, because even though a lot of players not going to discuss her anymore, but the fact that she's able to AoE dispel, CD up, the fact that she is able to reset the esper skill in PvP, and AP down, buff steal, she's just doing a lot of stuff in her kit, right? But even though you don't see a lot of people recommending getting her in the Shimmer Reverb or auto stuff, but the moment you see Nusi, and you really realize that Nusi is really strong. Then for Embla here, it's not until like meta is she strong, alright? In low tier PvP, R2 Embla is actually able to nuke everyone if you build her on a speed team, but the main consideration here is because if your Fushi is able to use in beat bout or KO, Embla is actually a very strong choice as a DPS, but she needs Fushi in the team, or else Embla will straight away go down to bad tier. But because of Fushi, I would say Embla is worth the strong tier now. But keep note, Embla needs Fushi to be workable. Okay, then for Yamato, if in terms of R2, I would just say she is bad, because he needs R6 to be workable. Then for Unas, cause Unas is gonna be strong here. It's not like until meta, but the fact Unas base speed is so fast, the whatever runes that he have is so fast, and the definite have immunity, so he's actually able to counter Tolan in a way, but not many people is using him. But the fact that he's still being strong in high tier PvP. Then for leading here, I'll just say bad here for PvP. Then for Senior here, I'll just say bad here for PvP. Like, Senior is annoying, but the strong stone or the rival runes that she have, and the thing that she's able to use most of the time, and the player that really use her is not really a lot. It's like just very few of them is actually using Senior. Then for Raven is the meta tier, the speed cleave god queen. Like if you want to speed cleave, you want to cleave someone, you want to actually nuke someone, Raven is one of your best choice. Then for Nora at R2, I would say it's going to be bad. You won't be really seeing Nora in most of the cases. Then for Tangshan as well, it's going to be bad. Abigail wise is I would say it's good at RTA only because you can target your Abigail to push the certain esper that you want. But if the RTA is rival runes only, maybe she's not that good. But if you're able to use your own equipment in Abigail, then Abigail will be good. It really depends on the future warm-up match. It's gonna be rival runes forever, or they will bring back equipment. It really depends on the feedback I gave to the devs. Like what is their final decision for the future's warm-up match. Then for Luis, it's sadly to say it's gonna be bad, even though he wanted to be a PvP esper, but we have a lot more other DPS esper that outshines him. Sad to say, Everett is just gonna be bad here. He's no longer the PvP counter esper. Even Emma is better than him. Then for Clara, I would say it's decent. Clara is still doing pretty well in PvP content because she can cleanse, she can put immunity. Her rival rune is pretty good as well, so it's decent. Ashley, I would say, sadly to say, Ashley is not good in PvP anymore. But maybe Ashley in lower tier, you are able to use her as a outspeed esper. Cause when you get outspeed, like let's say TA casts S3 and it triggers a critical hit, and then Ashley is able to AP push your whole team. But you won't be really using Ashley anymore because you're gonna use R2 Ethan. Then for Liam here, I would actually say he's meta in PvP because in PvP, if you invest him in rival runes, he is able to provide a lot of special buffs into PvP, and she's actually able to counter Anna in a way because he heals. The fact that if he kills someone, he's actually have a revive in his kit. Because if he uses S1 to kill someone, then it will trigger the effect to revive the esper that you died just now. So he have revive in his kit, heals in his kit, multi-hit. He's easy to build because of the crit rate requirement, and then he's able to provide crit damage up, defense up, and attack up from his kit, right? Then for Ollie, it's actually strong because if you pair Ollie with Mavis, Ollie is kind of able to use in a lot of cases, especially in auto. They always target Mavis first, and the fact that they target Mavis, Ollie is able to save them using save Mavis using the passive. So it's a very interesting combo if you pair Ollie with Mavis. But he is not good in RTA wise because we can just target Ollie by ourselves, and in point war, if you put Ollie as a defender, we can target Ollie by ourselves, so we don't really have to worry about the AI messing up your whole run, right? Then for Feng Shun, is definitely the meta. He can counter all sleep esper and all stun esper. He can AP push, he can provide a lot of buff. His pursuit S1 attack actually able to kill Anna as well. He's a support and he is a DPS at the same time. He's a debuffer at the same time. He's a buffer at the same time. He's just too good. Too good in all content. Then for Brewster, I would say he is kind of... If I have to compare with the rest here, maybe Brewster is no longer that good anymore. So yeah, Brewster I would say is going to be bad now. Like, he used to be very strong. I was sadly to say Brewster used to be very strong, but the fact that we have Anna, we have Mavis, all those things in the current meta now, Brewster is no longer useful in PvP content. Then for Changji here, I would actually say is decent. Sometimes you still use Changji because of the R2 effect is able to HP swap. It kind of clutch in sometimes, but you won't be really using him a lot anymore. Last time we used him a lot in Exodiacom, but you will see a lot of Exodiacom don't really use R2 Changji anymore. Maybe R6, alright, maybe R6, but in R2 I don't really see his value that high anymore. Maybe I'm wrong for this part, but I don't really see a lot of Changji at R2. Then for Zora, straight up bad. For Mateo, straight up bad. They are the PvE esper, but Mateo actually is able to one-shot Anna with his fire punch as well, but have to be manual. But we have a lot more choices that's able to counter Anna, so Mateo I would say is bad. Anna instantly go to meta. R0 or R2, she's still the meta, even though she's a lot of counter in the game now, but she's still very strong. The fact that in knockout, you can just put her with other esper in one team, she's still able to bring you win rate, right? So she's still very strong. For Biotina, I would say it's going to be RTA or Point War. Why I will say so is because Biotina starting to rise down is not because she's good. It's just because the more Wu Yu is going to be in the game, the stronger Biotina is. Because Biotina ignores defense. And Biotina is an AoE damage that ignores defense and able to dispel. So it's actually a very good counter to Wu Yu, but only if you can manual. If you cannot manual, Biotina is totally useless, right? So for Tricky, I would say it's going to be strong. It's a very good pair with all those debuffer esper like Hilda or like Chu Yao, and he is still mainly used in knockout a lot of cases because of his dispel and the passive to deal damage and stun them, which is very good. Then for JV, I would say it's going to be bad, even though some players actually use JV as a DPS, but in terms of DPS, we have a lot more better choices than JV. Then for Gabriel here, I would say she is strong, even though if she is R2, she's not able to apply 3 turns of immunity, but because of her definite. Because her definite provides her immunity, and because of this immunity will actually counter Toland. Like if you put Gabriel as a higher speed in beat bout or your knockout team, Toland is not able to counter, or more RNG to actually counter, because Gabriel have the immunity in her kit. Because Strongstone, Rebel Rune, we cannot really change their kit, and if they have their definite actually provides them immunity or something like that, they will actually be very good in PvP. Then for Iliad, it's very strong or even meta for RTA wise, because in RTA you can control your own Iliad to CD up them and inflict taunt and inflict a lot of damage. Iliad is definitely worth the RTA tier, and RTA tier is only 4 esper, and Iliad can reset 2 esper from the S3, so there's a 50-50 chance to actually reset the half of the esper of the enemy's team. Then for Nama, I would say it's instantly bad. Cecilia is instantly meta when you have her R2. She's very annoying to face when you see her in beat bout and knockout teams. It's instantly meta, the fact she's R2. R0 maybe it's not that scary, but R2, when she revives them, she actually resets the cooldown of the esper, which makes them very strong. Lucas is just going to instantly be bad. Height here I would say is decent. Like some players still use him, right? She sometimes still able to help you win the team with his Hades set and Avatara, but other than that, most of the cases not really. I would actually put Hyde at bad, but I know a lot of low point war tier players still use Hyde as a tank esper, which is still workable. Then for Yuran here is straight away go for bad. Sally here is gonna be, maybe Sally here I would say is gonna be strong. Yeah, I think Sally here worth the strong, because Sally is able to provide a lot of stuff, and you'll see Sally a lot in knockout and point war and PvP as well. Jiang Jiuli is definitely go to meta. The fact that he go to demon mode in PvP is very strong. He can just actually nuke someone else, and he deals true damage, so he's a good counter to Wu Yu. And his demon mode is a random damage, so sometimes he can jump to Iki. And the fact that if they kill the Esper in R2, the Esper cannot revive, so it's actually a good counter to Cecilia as well. Alright, then for Ophelia is straight up bad. Genie R2, I would say is RTA or point war only, because you can manual your own Genie. But Genie actually goes up even higher if you pair her with Chu Yao, because Chu Yao is actually able to protect Genie, then Genie deals more damage. But I will rate her higher for RTA other than knockout and beat bout. Then for Yuhime is just straight up bad. Then Ife is just being Ife. Okay, so if I take a look at my current PvP tier list, alright, keep note this is maximum resonance up to R2 only, and most of the perspective will be at high end. Okay, high end. I know that some of the Esper in a bad tier maybe is one of your main DPS, like Leora here might be your main DPS in PvP because of your current tier. So different tier have different perspective, but I already tried to make fully utilize what is the best choice in the PvP tier list, right? If you have a better choice in DPS, then you go higher tier, then the rest will go to the bad tier, right? So I would say this PvP tier list here is a bit more personal preference here. So if you have your own comment or your own thoughts, like let's say you use Leora a lot in PvP, you can also share your thoughts in the comment section to let me know and let the rest know why you think she doesn't deserve in this tier or she deserves a higher tier. Feel free to leave your comment, share your thoughts as well. But this is overall experience I feel in my PvP content and the usage I saw. Alright, so hope you guys enjoy the video and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Special thanks for the direct support on the YouTube membership. So for the benefactor of Artiar, which is JNMP, Rosas15, Molkult Rajili, thank you so much for the support, and special thanks to Marlene Williams for the highest tips giver in my live stream content. Thank you so much for the support, and special thanks for the supporter and patron of Artiar, which is Louis Schneider, Agni, Gemai, Code Wardeners, Wang Tamer, Ziggy, Kamaruki, Sunwaltz, Rimu, Choni, Kylie Worshipper, Von Hexa, Luxley, Roshan Bessie, Antonio Winterspoon, and Noah Archive. Thank you so much for the support, and special thanks to everyone who have been supporting me for 1 month streak and 3 month streak. So hope you guys enjoy the video and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.